So this is not clickbait. My channel is actually literally dying. And it's like a train crash. Train crash? Like a train wreck. It's like a train wreck that I can't stop from happening. That I can literally see happening. And I can do something to stop it. But it's almost like I'm gonna have to let it like almost crash. And I definitely can do something to kind of slow down the crash and, steer the train in a better direction. And that is my plan. But honest to Pete, my channel is dying. I want to show you behind the scenes to my analytics. I want to show you what's going on. I want to show you why I think this is happening. I want to explain what I've done that you can hopefully avoid to avoid this happening to you. And I'm also going to tell you what I plan to do about it, because I'm not about to sit here and let my channel die. Know what I mean? Hey, howdy, hey, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica Stansberry, and I am pumped that you are here. If you're interested in, making a full-time living out of, living your life and creating content, that is what I'm here to help you do. My lens was dirty. Sometimes clickbait or pseudo clickbait is very useful when it comes to getting clicks on your videos and getting people to watch them and all the things, but this is honest to goodness, not clickbait, because as you're gonna see in just a minute, like my channel is sucking right now. And this is actually the first time this has happened to me. I have always grown slower than I would like to grow. I've always grown at a slower pace and rate than I would like to. And I've never really had that one video or that set of videos that just skyrockets my success and causes my channel to blow up. I've never had that. So I've always kind of grown a little slower than I would like. But I've never really had a point in my journey up until this point where things are really on the downhill slope. And so it's been a little bit scary, but I'm hoping to give you several lessons out of this. And one of those lessons is to not put all your eggs in one basket. So as it currently stands, I'm making about half of the income per month from YouTube that I was at this time last year from YouTube AdSense. So from Google AdSense itself, I'm making about half of the income that I was this time last year. And if that was where all my eggs were, that would really suck, that would really hurt me. That could really be a detriment to my business and all the things. But thankfully it's not. It's definitely, I've always kind of seen my YouTube money as extra. It's not really what I count on to pay the bills every month. And so it's not that big of a deal. So before I even jump in and show you my analytics, I just want to say that please, if you are starting on YouTube or you're on YouTube currently and you really want to get to that point where you're being monetized or you are monetized and you're trying to increase that, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Please diversify your income streams. Don't let it all be just Google AdSense, because homegirl is finicky. And even if your channel is not dying or not in a downward slope, you can still see massive jumps and spikes and dips in your Google AdSense revenue based on the advertisers that are putting ads out there at the current moment and the types of videos that are taking off for you at any given moment. So just, diversify that income. But let's just jump into my analytics, because this hurts. But I'm also all about being candid and real, and I want to show you this. Okay, so the first stat I want to take a look at is really year over year, or what we've seen over the last 365 days as a whole. So I'm just gonna drop this down to 365 days and show you my views and how absolutely crappy they are right now. I ain't even playing, y'all. I'm being hella candid and vulnerable right now, okay? Okay, so you can literally see here that this time last year, on average, I was getting about 7,000 to 8,000 views per day, okay? And I'm getting 1,000 to 2,000, maybe 3,000 views a day right now. And it sucks. That's a massive jump. That's a massive dip. It's a massive, downhill incline. And I don't like it. And here's the thing, if I would have completely stopped doing content, like if I was out here and I had just like abandoned my channel, I would expect to see this. But I have consistently been putting out content this whole time. It's not like anything changed in this kind of time frame here. What I will say is that this like period from like July to September, October timeframe is still kind of the tail end of the peak that I saw happen during COVID, or like at the beginning of quarantine, and what I saw happen. And this was kind of just me getting back to normal and what it was pre-COVID. So if we go here, I'm just gonna go all the way back to pre-COVID, or like right around the beginning of COVID, okay? Okay, so right around the beginning of the pandemic, I've got, you can literally see it just like massively spike up. Almost everybody who had content, I think everybody on YouTube saw a big spike here because kids went home, started watching more. Everybody was watching more videos. Everybody was home. It was a thing. It wasn't yet like warm enough outside for people to not be at home and all the things. But particularly for my channel, where I'm teaching people how to grow a channel, teaching people how to run an online business, like doing these things that are directly tied to money when they may have been laid off from their jobs, or they were very scared that they were going to be laid off from their jobs, it makes sense that I saw this big spike. So I literally see this spike happen like basically as soon as everybody went home, okay? So middle of March, we're going all the way up through May, blah, blah, blah. And you'll see where I was before. I was right around this like 4,000 and 5,000 views per day mark. And then it shoots way up to like 10,000 a day, 9,000 a day, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of ride that wave until that like November timeframe of 2020, when it starts to kind of come back down or level back out to what was normal pre-pandemic. So as you can see here, everything's kind of staying the same. Of course, I saw my income dip. I'll show you the income here in just a minute. But then I see another spike in January, which literally always happens because, again, January, like we've got people who are like, New Year's goal, we're gonna quit our jobs, we're gonna do the thing, we're gonna start the YouTube channel, we're going to set more goals, we're gonna whatever. And I have a lot of like goal setting and planning videos on my channel, so I tend to see a big spike in January, always. And then it has not done anything but go down since January, drastically, like below where it was before the pandemic by like half, okay? So let's look at money here because I think this is really interesting to see. You can see here, pre-pandemic, I'm making about $50, $60-ish, $70 a day, right? And up into the pandemic, I'm more so in that 100, 150, 160, whatever a day. Well, then we start to dip down again. Again, we shoot back up in January. The trend of money follows my trend of views very much so. And then you start to see me dip down and dip down and dip down and have days where I make like 20 some dollars or 30 or whatever. And, you know, see this dip way below where it was even pre-pandemic. And so like I can tell you when I was consistently sharing like how much I made this month on YouTube last year, normally my numbers were in that like $3,000 mark. I think there was even a month where I made like $4,000. My normal 30-day time period income right now is totally half of that, if not a little less than half. Especially right now. And you can see here that it's even like, this is less than usual. And you can see that my views are less than usual, and my watch time and my subscribers. So if we go back to that 365-day snapshot, because it's just easier to look at and easier for me to pull up, you can see on the subscriber end how much this has dipped as well. So about the time that I hit 100,000 subscribers, I was already starting to see like kind of a downward trend, which was in December of last year, by the way. But then in January, again, I spiked back up following that view, like the view spike, totally normal. But you can see that it has dipped big time since January. Or I guess more so since like February. But anyway, like massively dipped. So there are channels who hit 100,000 subscribers around the same time I did and have very much surpassed me. There's also channels who hit 100,000 subscribers after me that have very much so passed me, and it's because of this right here. So you can see that just in general, overall, just big picture looking, my channel's like dying, like literally dying. I'm not joking. And again, please remember that I have put out consistent content throughout this entire time frame. But also I need you to know that I know why it's happening. And because I know why it's happening, I can also fix it, hopefully. I'll be honest, I'm not the best at regularly checking out my analytics. I'm not the best at staying kind of tuned into what's going on my channel so that I can like do the things I need to do to grow. And that's something I want to get better at as well. Because I kind of talked about this in my trend hacking video that I did probably back in December or January. But essentially, when YouTube is favoring one of your videos, when YouTube is really shoving that thing out there into the world, you really need to know that that's happening right now and create more content like that so that YouTube can show that content in conjunction with the other content it's already pushing. And that's something you have to stay pretty like on top of to know like when that is happening. And I just haven't been the best at that. So that's one thing I'm definitely going to be changing going forward, is really paying attention to my analytics and what is working, what is not working, what is currently being picked up by the platform so that I can create more content like that to also be picked up by the platform. So when we really talk about why this is happening, the real reason at the core of why this is happening is because I have been focused on search and search terms for way too long. Actually, for my entire YouTube journey, I've been way more focused on search and showing up in search and getting the correct keywords for the actual algorithm and all of that good jazz than I have been focused on creating content that my existing subscribers want to come back and watch. And that's really where I'm starting to see a disconnect. And that's also why I've told y'all I want to stop doing as many like tutorials and things like that and do more like, you know, like we're friend kind of content. Because one, I'm craving that anyway. I really want to like lean into that, and I want you guys to want to come back and watch my videos every week. But also two, because my analytics are telling me though my current strategy is not good. Now, you may be sitting there and you're like, but why don't you want your videos to show up in search? I thought that was the reason, or like how you grow and all the things. And haven't you told us this 1,000 times? And yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. I definitely do want my videos to show up in search, but here's the thing. I have a crap ton of videos already out in the world, in the algorithm, in the YouTube land that can and will and are showing up in search for me. What I really need to focus on now is, you know, creating content for y'all, for people who want to come back every single week and watch my content, rather than creating that like one and done kind of scenario that I've done up until now. Really, the way my channel has grown up until this point and has worked up until this point is that, okay, you know, Bobby is like searching the YouTubes for the things or the Googles for the things, and my video has, you know, great keywords and a good thumbnail and titles and the things you're supposed to do to show up in search, and they find my video and they watch it and I solve their problem. But I don't give them a reason to come back for more of my videos. So they might subscribe, but they don't really care about that next video I release or that next one or that next one or whatever. So what ends up happening is that the majority of my views on pretty much every video come from people who are not subscribed. So actually, if we go back in here and we look at, we'll just do the last 365 days since this is what we've already been looking at. We look at the last 365 days, and well, I want to look at two things, but we go to this first. We go to the audience. The purple line are returning viewers. The blue line is new subscribers, or people who weren't privy to me before. And so while yes, I absolutely want new viewers coming to my channel, I have only been focused on getting new viewers, when in reality, if I will focus on taking care of my returning viewers, taking care of the subscribers I already have, YouTube will see that as like, oh my gosh, her subscribers love her, so there's got to be more people out there to love her or love her content, and so let's show it to more people like her subscribers. So by nurturing my subscribers, I'm going to be getting in front of new subscribers too. But in my strategy leading up until now, I've only been focused on those new people, which is not good. Don't do that. So I want to show you kind of what I mean here. So watch time from subscribers is one of the analytics that we get inside of our YouTube Creator Studio or whatever this thing's called. And you can see that over the last 365 days, and the last 365 days is what I selected, but this has been a pretty standard thing for my entirety on YouTube. But over the last 365 days, 83% of my watch time comes from people who are not subscribed. Only 16, almost 17% come from those people who are currently subscribed to my channel. And again, yes, that's good, especially when you're starting out because it's exposing you to the right people and all the things. But for me, this is horrible because I need the people who subscribe to me to want to watch more of my videos, because if they subscribe and then they don't want to watch more of my videos, YouTube knows that, and then YouTube's going to stop suggesting my content out in the universe. And that's pretty well exactly what's happened. So one thing I will say is over the last year, maybe 2 years, I've focused on, really getting these numbers to flop, because it was like 70% male and 30% female. And not that I don't love my dude subscribers, I totally do. But what happens again with that, like wanting people to want to come back and watch my content, I know that like the lady friends are going to relate to my content and relate to me and want to come back for me a little bit more than the dudes will. So this is something I've been working on doing in general, and that has definitely worked. So really one of my big focuses going forward to fix this problem, to resurrect my channel from the dead, is to focus on people who are already subscribed to me and get them to watch more of my content, get them to want to watch all the things I put out on the internet on YouTube, so that they watch more and more of my videos. And as they watch more and more of my videos, YouTube will show them more, they'll suggest them more, they'll recommend them more, and then I'll get more new subscribers anyway. So I want to show you this in kind of live time or real time. So this video that I did a few weeks ago, that's basically, I'm so over making these videos and I'm giving up my studio. Okay, so like, oh, I'm so over it, I'm giving up my studio, all the things. Well, it has a little over 4,000 views, which is actually about triple what my normal videos are getting in this time frame currently. And you can actually see that by this chart, that like this is far and above what, my normal videos are getting in this period. But also, let me just wabam you with this, okay? Remember that audience stat where most of my subscribers were not watching my videos and they were all not subscribed people? Look at this video specifically. It is mostly subscribed and about that same percentage not subscribed. Okay, so it completely flipped on this video. This video has nothing to do with search, doesn't even remotely get me found in search. It also has quadruple the views that a normal video would have at this current point. And more of my subscribers are watching it than non-subscribers. So you see where I'm getting at here. This is kind of the magic right now. The magic is getting my subscribers to want to watch my content on the regular. So doing these like how-to and tutorial pieces of content is not benefiting them or me, because odds are they didn't need whatever it was and they just skipped over that video, and they know it's going to be like a talking head type situation. And videos like that one and this one are things they actually care to watch because they actually care about what I have to say. So this is like a real-time example of this actually happening, and what I want to happen with my channel as a whole going forward. I want to flip-flop that subscribed and not subscribed stat, and I want to focus less on searchability and more on user behavior and actually like real humans wanting to watch my content. The other thing I want to show you is where my views are coming from as a whole, because the key to resurrecting my channel, the sun is coming out. The key to resurrecting my channel is to stop focusing as much on search, start focusing on the people who are already here, creating content for them, for you, you know, that kind of situation, and letting new subscribers come from that rather than the fact that I was like their searchable result. Okay? So if that's the goal, then we need to look at the traffic sources for my channel as a whole, because that's going to show us a pretty, you know, accurate picture as well. So if we look on the reach tab, we're still in this 365-day period, and you can see that currently right now, 45.4% of my traffic comes from search. 20% is from external, but I need you to look down here and look and see what the external is. It's a Google search. But that being said, external is also search. So if we add those two together, we're looking at like 65% of my traffic coming to me via search. That is a problem because those people came to solve a specific problem, and when I solved that for them, or I didn't solve it for them, they ducked out. They didn't hang around for the community aspect. They didn't hang around for me and for what my future videos were or are going to be. What you really, and also I really, want to see happen is my suggested videos and browse feature stats going up. Now, I don't know that those numbers will ever beat search. They might, but at least getting them up there really, really close to those search numbers is going to help a ton, because what those numbers mean is that YouTube, the algorithm itself, is recommending my content. It means that it is saying, hey, this girl Jessica, she has good content for this person here, and because of their past user behavior on the platform, I think they would enjoy Jessica's content. So I'm going to show Jessica's content to said person, and there's not just one of those people in the world. There's thousands or hundreds of thousands of those people who want to see the same type of thing, and let's show Jessica to them as well. So you really want that recommended and browse feature number to be much higher than mine is to really take advantage of this kind of algorithmic favoritism. That sounded fancy. So you see here how in the last 365 days, 29% of my views or of my reach came from YouTube recommending my content. Well, let's switch this to the last 28 days. In the last 28 days, only 23% of my views have come from YouTube recommending my content. I will say that my browse feature is up there a little bit more than the 365 picture we looked at a second ago. It's still not where I want it to be. We're gonna use this I'm so over making videos and I'm giving up my studio video again. And I'm gonna show you kind of what this looks like from that perspective and why it's doing as well as it is, plus why I want my entire channel to kind of shift in that direction. So if you can see here, browse features is the top. Search is not even in. It's not even in the reach. It's not even there. It's like down so far that YouTube doesn't even have it in the chart, which is spectacular. The fact that this video is getting way more views than I normally get, and it's coming from browse features and the things like that, means that this video is telling YouTube that more of my subscribers are enjoying it. If more of my subscribers enjoy it, then maybe other people like my subscribers will enjoy it, and I will likely start to see this get picked up and suggested as well. So you can see here that 42%, almost 43% of the views or the impressions I have gotten that have led to watch time have come from YouTube recommending this piece of content to people. It's what we want to see. That is what we want to see. So to wrap this up and put a pretty little bow on it, what really the main message of this, what is this called? This video is twofold. One, I don't want you to make the same mistakes that I have made over the last 5 years on my channel, because I'll be honest, it's a little hard to break that cycle because I am 5 years into doing it that way. And so it's kind of like teaching an old dog new tricks. It's kind of hard to do, but I'm figuring it out and I'm going with it and doing the things that I think will help this happen. But I don't want you to make the same mistakes I am. And I actually was just putting together a presentation for the Social Media Marketing Society, which is hosted by Social Media Examiner. I was just putting together a presentation for them to do inside their society, which by the time you see this video, I'll have already done. But in this presentation, I'm talking about how to be discovered and discoverability on YouTube, because it really is a big piece of the pie. But in the presentation, I made sure to say, please don't only do this. Couple this strategy with also creating community building content, creating content that people want to come back and watch. Think about your own user behavior. I've had to think about this for myself. Like if I'm Googling, like how to bake a cake, okay? How to bake a cake. And I find this video and it's like how to bake a cake, and it just shows me how to bake a cake, and there's not really much else there. There's not, personal stories. There's not, anything more than just the steps on how to bake a cake. Then I'm gonna watch this video on how to bake a cake, and I'm not gonna subscribe to that person, and I'm probably gonna forget about them or their name or whatever in 2 minutes once I bake my cake. Whereas if I searched for how to bake a cake and this video came up that, was baking a cake or whatever, and during it she told all these personal stories and she talked about her journey to do X, Y, or Z, or she shared things beyond baking a cake in addition to the steps that helped me bake a cake, then I am way more likely to subscribe to her channel and remember who she was and maybe go seek her out on other social medias or whatever, because she didn't just help me, she also made me like her. She also created a connection between the two of us. So we have to think about our own user behavior, and that is kind of that middle ground you want to sit on. You want to be found in search, but you also want to be creating a community and really making sure that the people who find you and the people who are currently with you want to stick around and want to watch things from you in the future. The second kind of reason I wanted to make this video and thing I want you to leave with is my plan on how to fix it. Okay, so before I get into that, this is a good spot to tell you about today's sponsor, Spreadshop. Have I ever told y'all how bad I am at mailing things? I don't know if that's ever something I've just flat out said on this channel, but I suck at mailing things. Just getting it to the point where it's ready to be mailed is a problem. But then getting it to the mailing place is an even bigger problem. It could have a stamp on it and be sitting at my front door, and it will sit at my front door for 100 years before I pick it up and actually take it by the post office, which is literally on my way to town, because I just suck so bad at mail. And so when I started thinking about creating a merch line or any kind of physical product, it kind of made me hurt a little bit, because I knew I wanted to do it. I knew it was something you guys would want, but I also was like, I'm not mailing things. Who's gonna trust me to do that? I don't trust me to do that. So when I found Spreadshop, which is literally a company designed for merch just like this. They're designed to work with YouTubers and integrate with the merch shelf, which are the buttons you see below this video where you can go shop my store straight from the video. They're designed for that specifically, and they're designed for the people who hate to mail things out, because they do all of that stuff for you. You can click on the link below in my description and go sign up for your own Spreadshop account, upload your designs, create designs, whatever, and get them on the products you want them on, the t-shirts, the sweatshirts, the bags, the hats, the mugs, whatever you want them on. And then you can start selling today for free. I'm not even playing. And then Spreadshop will literally take care of the grunt work for you. They're gonna print the shirt when the person orders it. They're going to mail the shirt when the person orders it. And then they're going to pay you your cut of that process. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Again, if you want to try out Spreadshop, and I highly recommend that you do, click on the link below in my description to sign up for free and get started creating your merch now. Okay, so I was at a really important part there in the video, so let's go back. The second kind of reason I wanted to make this video and thing I want you to leave with is my plan on how to fix it. And I know that my channel is not going to die totally. I know that. I've been around long enough. I see the statistics. I see the analytics. I see what's going on. I see what videos are still kind of basically holding up the channel. And I know it's not going to die completely. It's not going to crash and burn. And so what I need to do is take this time to fix it so that I can start to see an upward trajectory. And I can't wait to come back on the channel and show you how I've done that and show you my analytic difference, because I think you're going to see a big difference. But as far as what I'm planning to do, I'm planning to really focus on being found in suggested videos as well as the browse features, more so than search. Really focus on videos where I'm talking to you as a friend and that my subscribers, my current subscribers, actually want to watch versus trying to just constantly be found in the top of search. That is my plan. I'm really gonna bring you content that you've never seen on this channel. And again, please know how hard that is for me. Every time I sit down and I plan out these videos that kind of fall into that category of, different and in this kind of realm of where I want to go, it's very, very hard for me because that's not the normal video I'm used to filming. I'm used to filming videos where I'm like, 5 ways to grow on YouTube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so again, it's kind of trying to teach an old dog new tricks, but I am very excited about fixing this because I think it's going to be really helpful for you to see how I fix it. I also am very excited because it's new and it's different, and it makes me even more excited about creating content than I was before. And I've always loved to create content. So long story long, my channel is dying. It's because I've focused way too much on search. I've focused way too much on getting one view rather than getting a view that leads to another view, that leads to another view, that leads to another view. And I have a plan to fix it. So don't fret, it's fine. So yes, it sucks, but I'm also not that worried about it because I know what I'm gonna do going forward to kind of head that off and make those analytics go back up. Thank you again to today's sponsor, Spreadshop. If you are in the market for a really awesome company to work with to create merch for free and to sell it headache-free, you really should check them out. The link to get started for free is below in the description, and I would love to hear any questions you have in the comments about, what I've been talking about, my analytics, whatever, my plan going forward, all the things. Make sure you chat me up in the comments, and until next time, bye y'all.